Hello and welcome. Today we have a question, and it is, what is the double check response feature in Gemini? Okay, so the summary is that the double check response feature will take whatever output you get from Gemini and it will cross-reference it with like a Google search result. And if there's a match, then it'll basically give you citations so that you can then go and double check it against whatever it finds. So let me show you, because it might be a little bit easier to have a visual. So if you want to kind of ride along, you can go to gemini.google.com. You will have to log in. Well, you might have to log in depending on what kind of account you have. And you get to this page. And then you have to put in a prompt. So this is basically once you prompt it for something and then you get a response back. So I'll just go here. Let's go to, I'll do one that I didn't actually do this on yet. So I'll go here. Like, this doesn't really matter. You just have to have a prompt put in and you have to have a response back. And the whole thing with this is basically enhancing the reliability, or if you have something that you need the answer to be accurate, where it's not like, oh, just tell me a random joke or tell me a story. You need accuracy in the response, and you maybe suspect that there's a hallucination, or you just want to, do your due diligence and make sure that, or be closer to sure that there's not a hallucination, then you do this feature. But you put in a prompt, and then at the bottom of the answer, you will have a little, the more like ellipsis here, the vertical ellipsis. And if you click on that, one of the options is this, it's double check response. And again, that's going to just go through the response here, and it's going to cross-reference it with Google search. And then where there are hits, it will basically highlight things in green if it found some kind of similar content within Google search, and then it'll provide a link for that. It'll highlight it in orange if no relevant content was found, and it won't highlight it at all if insufficient information was available to evaluate. Those two are kind of weird to me, because I feel like no relevant content and insufficient information are kind of the same thing. So here's what Google's documentation says about orange and no highlight. Orange, Google search found content that's likely different from the statement, or it didn't find relevant content. A link is provided if, oh, well, that's different. Well, there you go. This is why I read the documentation. So, okay, so if it's orange, it found content that's likely different from what it said, or it didn't find content. And then if it did find something, it'll provide the link. And then if it doesn't highlight it, there's not enough information to evaluate the statements, or they aren't intended to convey factual information. I'll leave this here for a second so that you can kind of read through it, because that was probably confusing. I'll switch back over now. So that's basically what it's going to do. It's going to either not highlight it at all, it's going to highlight it in orange, or it's going to highlight it in green, and then it will provide links where available. So let me click that and give it a second. Yeah, okay. So now there's some stuff in green. Do we have any orange? No orange. So I have some green and I have some not highlighted. So just looking through here, and this was a really straightforward problem. Like, what's the Gemini visualization feature? And so this is the first green. So now if I click on the little arrow here, it says Google search found similar content like this. And then it gives me an actual link to a Google blog post. And then I go down here and there's another green one and expand it. And Google search found similar content, Gemini.Google page. And then I'm not going to go through all these, but you hopefully get the idea. If there's green, there'll be an arrow that'll have a note here that Google found similar content, and it will give you a link to that content. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. I think, is there anything else in here? So the only other thing in here that I'll mention is that, especially because it calls it out as important, it's available for responses in most languages. That's fine. It is not available for responses generated with apps and skips certain content like code and markdown tables. So, and I realize most people don't do things with code and markdown tables. So if you don't, you can ignore this part. If you do and you actually want to use this feature to double check things, just know that it probably won't really work with code or markdown tables. I'm confident that if you are actually using this for code, you know other ways to validate the code or test your own code or find other sources. But maybe you don't. But just know that this isn't a way to do it anyway, so it wouldn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. Again, this says to use the feature, you have to be signed in. So I kind of mentioned in the beginning, you may or may not have to sign in. This in here says you do have to be signed in to use it. So if you are using like a free account without logging in, and you don't see that option, that's probably why. I don't think there's anything else in here. Yeah, there's really, this is a really short, support article. So yeah, I mean, just going back to the beginning, it's just if you are in Google Gemini and you have a prompt to put in, and then once you get a response back, if you want to validate it or just have Gemini cross-reference the response that it gave you with Google search, you can click on the vertical ellipsis at the bottom here and click on double checked response, and then it will either highlight things in green and orange, or it won't highlight them. And then if it's green or orange, it may have this little drop down arrow and it will give you some kind of link. And you can go to the link if you want to validate the information or see what's at the link. Really high level, if it's green, then that means that it found something within Google search to validate your information. Orange, it probably either found something that did not back it up or it didn't find anything. And then if it's not highlighted, then there just wasn't enough information to really make a determination with that. And again, if you use code or markdown tables, this will probably not do anything, so don't be surprised with that. But that is what the double check response feature does. So hopefully that answers your question, and we will see you next time.